Hello and welcome back to the channel and another video about the construction of phase 2 of Heaton Lodge Junction. Now today we've got a couple of things. We've got HS3. You're probably thinking, what the hell's that? What's he doing now? Well, you'll soon see in a minute because I'm going to be taking you the other side of this wall. We're in the workshop now, as you can probably see by the mess, and I'm going to be showing you a bit more about HS3. The other thing we're going to be talking about is the radio controlled vehicles. Superb pieces of engineering that my friend Giles makes out of die-cast, what were die-cast toys, and they're going to be contributing so much to the kind of entertainment value of Heaton Lodge Junction Phase 2 when the whole thing goes out next year. The other thing was, I just wanted to say a big thanks to all of you that have contributed to the comments. People that make comments every week, you know who you are, makes a big difference, so thanks. When you're working down here on your own, you overthink things, to be completely candid, and it is difficult sometimes, so they make a big difference. But I just want to nip one thing in the bud, because I have had to ban a couple of people in the last couple of weeks for making, honestly, really poisonous comments about the fact, oh, he's from a rich, wealthy family, or he's won the lottery. Which is fine saying that, but some of the things going on from that weren't very nice. So, in fact, I had two people, would you believe, that got into their own private conversation about where they thought the money was coming from. So, for those of you that are interested and curious, I just want to nip this in the bud and be completely candid with you now and just tell you how I got to where I am now, because it's just important for me that people don't think I'm some sort of minor celebrity with a load of team of people and a load of money behind me, because I really have not got that. So if you're not interested, I will not be offended. Just scroll on to the next clip in the video. But for the next 5 minutes, I'm just going to tell you how I got here. And basically, some of you will know that my dad was a clergyman. His boss, I was going to say his dad, his boss was Eric Tracy, the railway bishop of Wakefield Cathedral. And yeah, my dad used to work under him, and that's really how I got interested in trains. But going back, I don't know, 20 years, I was actually a service engineer driving a little blue van for British Gas. And I used to trundle around Leeds in West Yorkshire, where I'm from. And on a 25 grand salary, I knew I was never going to indulge in the two passions I had. Still have, obviously, railways and cars. So I thought, well, there's got to be something I can do. Now, back then, some of you may remember that you could get buy-to-let mortgages where you could put you could borrow 100% of the cost of the house, put no money down, rent the house out, and then get another one. And that is something I thought I could do. So I bought a house back in, I don't know, early 2000s, then another one and another one. And within probably a couple of years, I had 12. So I was trying to manage them at the same time as working for British Gas. Needless to say, my boss at British Gas found out what I was doing. I was never in the right place at the right time, so bless him. If he's watching, I'm really sorry, Roland. But he ended up sacking me, and went out on my own, started a driving experience company too, which I was running alongside the houses. And then, anyway, that went on for 10 years or so. And then 2018, I thought, right, I've had enough. I want to build this Heaton Lodge Junction Phase 1, a place that was really special to me that I used to go to as a child, as some of you will know. So I sold out of the business, sold the 50% shareholding in the business I had back to my business partner, and all the money that I got from that, I put into building Heaton Lodge Junction Phase 1, which is that side of the wall. And yeah, that was probably cost me in the best part of £200,000. Most of it went obviously on rolling stock, baseboards. The baseboards were built by White Rose Model Works, some of you will know. And Tim Horn baseboards, of course, later on. And from there on then, the railway, as you know, went out to 3 exhibitions. And then I began thinking about building Phase 2, which is that side of the wall. So this is different kettle of fish altogether, because the only way I was going to fund that was basically by selling properties. And that actually wasn't a bad decision, because the government had brought in all these bloody stupid laws about tenants and landlords. So I started selling properties and using the equity from the properties to fund Heaton Lodge Junction Phase 2. And I should say at this point, I haven't forgotten that some of you contributed to the crowdfunding campaign that I ran about a year ago, which raised a few £1,000s. You'll be getting extra special treatment when you come and see the layout. I'll be talking more about that a bit further down the line. No pun intended. But yeah, that is where the money comes from. I just wanted to put that to bed because it's important people don't think I'm, got loads of money. I really haven't. And last year especially, it was a real struggle. But things are getting better. This layout is going out in a year's time. If it kills me, it will be going out in a year's time. So there we go. Anyway, I hope I've put that to bed. Thanks for listening to that. Sorry if it was too much information. And I hope you all understand why I wanted to say those things. So moving on, we're going to be talking about HS3 now. We're going to nip behind the wall here and I'm going to show you this new exciting kind of layout on a layout. So here we go again. Okay, so let's bring you up to date with what I've been doing since I last saw you. There's two things basically I have done. The first is complete the fiddle yard or the marshalling yard for track number 1. It's got 4 roads. It leads from this double junction. Remember, track number 1 is the innermost circuit. And that feeds into those 4 or 5 roads there, which will store general freight trains. And they're laid out in a kind of a semi-prototypical marshalling yard layout. So that double junction, in fact, thinking about it, nearly all the track, probably 90% of the track now on Heaton Lodge Phase 2 is finished. We're just waiting for Healy Mill's shed, which is probably a few weeks or months away, but when that is finished, the track going from there will join these 2 main lines here, tracks 3 and 4, and that will complete basically all the track work in its entirety, apart from HS3. So you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is HS3? Well, here is the beginning of it. HS3 is going to be specifically what it says on the tin. It's going to carry a high-speed train, HST 125 in O gauge, which will be built by my friend Dave Lowry. It'll be racing down this single track flyover over these this girder bridge here, which spans, which is going to be a little spur. It spans a little spur which is going to lead into this concrete factory here. But the whole purpose of this is because Heaton Lodge Junction, as most of you know, is basically a freight layout. Now, passenger trains don't make that much of an appearance, but they certainly will be doing with this HST and a couple of new style Class 150s and Class 158 DMUs, because they're all going to be using this line. They're going to be popping out of the back scene, which will be at the end of that building there. They'll be going at fairly high speed, 70, 80 miles an hour scale speed over these bridges. And this line will go, just follow the camera. This is why I've left this gap in the tracks here, because it will be going on stilts, if you like, concrete flyover, all the way down here. And then it will suddenly veer off left in a nice 20 or 30 degree radius curve all over these tracks on girder bridges, and it will disappear in the back screen. The track will then run right the way behind the back scene in a big loop. It's only single line, don't forget, probably 3 or 4 fiddle yards behind the back scene so I can swap trains around, and then it will reappear again at the end of that, where that building is there. And the trains will fly down here at high speed, which I think will add so much to it. I mean, I love the Paxman Valenta engines in the HS3 125s. I really miss them, and I'm sure some of you do too. But you'll be able to hear them again once this HS3 appears on the layout next year, and it'll just add so much to it. It'll be going at scale speed, and it will look magnificent. So that is HS2. So I'm going to be cracking on with building the flyover for it. All I'm doing is I'm building the ply base out of 12mm ply. I'm then making the shoulders, so to speak. This is all going to be painted to look like concrete, by the way, out of 9mm ply. And then I've got Steve from Railway Laser Lines, who's going to be making me the fencing, which is going to be going all the way down this flyover right up to the girder bridges, and then start again at the other side. Now I'm going to be facing all this plywood with some nice concrete kind of look-alike blocks, so it really does look like the real thing. And hopefully when that's done, it should add loads to it. It'll be fully signalled and everything else, so it should look absolutely superb. And it's going to run probably about 30 meters visibly and then disappear behind the back scene. I do love these girder bridges. They need a bit more detailing, but when they're sprayed and painted a steel colour, they'll look super as well. So there we go. That is HS3, and I'm going to be working on that kind of every week too. Yeah, that's just about all I've got to say on HS3 for the time being. So keep watching next week, and I'll bring you up to date with where it's going. Right, let's just have another look at these radio control vehicles built by Giles Favell, who's actually written a book about converting die-cast models, not just in O gauge, but in double O gauge too, to radio control. But these, the truck on the left, the tipper truck, I just picked up from him the other day, because he's just been modifying it. Now, I just want to show you what it's capable of, because let's just turn it on and get it to move over here, because it's just brilliant the way it actually moves. It's based on a Volvo F12 cab. I'm going to be repainting it in Blue Circle cement livery, and here we go. We'll have it pull up here, and then for the party piece, struggling a bit with the weight of that ballast. There we go. Absolutely superb. Just spin the camera around a little second. And these are just IXO. I think they're a Spanish company actually, and they make die-cast 143 gauge vehicles, and Giles has converted these, as I've just said, into radio control. And he will teach you all about how to do it in his book, which is just popping up on your screen. But it's just the way they move that I like, because they're just extremely realistic. You've got full control of the steering. Let's see if I can get it to run round. It's got quite a good turning circle, this one. Yeah, I think it should come back round. There we go. It's just coming in the camera again now. And you can see as well, you should be able to see. Yeah, it's even got brake lights. Look at that. Fantastic. And a lot of these will be moving around the cement factory, as I said on the introduction, including the cement mixer you can see in front of you. There's probably about a fleet of probably 2 or 3 of these. Oops, I'm going to cause a collision in a second. Let's just get the steering altered. There we go. But these just lend so much in terms of entertainment value. They really do. There we go again. And of course it will reverse. If I can get... Oh, I'm not very good at reversing this, am I? To say that I've got a real HGV licence, goodness me. Oh no. I've now jackknifed it. Right, we'll leave it there. I'm not going to embarrass myself even more. But you've seen what it does. Even with a tipper. And as I said, I'm just going to be painting this in blue circle cement livery. All these are going to get the same treatment to go with the factory. But really, really great fun. Just before we leave the radio control vehicle subject, I did get the Sherpa van to work. So here she is. She's quite a lot faster than the tipper truck, which you would expect. As you can see, brake lights. I'll try and turn around. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Got my hand in there. Really good turning circle on this one too. And this one, as I say, will be appearing next year too. I'm going to have to... This Sherpa van is a bit out of era for me now, because obviously I'm going to be swapping to the 2000s, and I think all these Sherpa vans are well gone by then. Maybe just... I don't think there'll be any in rail track or network rail livery anyway, that's for sure. But modeller's license again. But there you can see the Sherpa van. And I think this is an ex Corgi model, and it's the Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, it is the Sherpa van with a added roof at the top, and then all modified by Giles again. So superb. There we go. So a bit of a shorter video this week, I'm afraid, but I'll make up for it in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. Same thing as ever. Please like and subscribe. Makes a big difference. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon.